Hello everyone, this episode of Chucky is called Going to the Chapel, and after the death of Nadine, who died in the last episode at the very end, all the characters that survived throughout the show, and the movies as well, have finally all came together to try and exorcise the soul of Charles Lee Ray out of the Chucky doll, all while Tiffany and Glenn is on their way. They're trying to get there as fast as possible. Um, the whole Tiffany subplot feels pretty superfluous, apart from the very end, which I'll talk about later. But all in all, this has got to be the most fun episode. I think the most fun part about it is seeing all these characters interact. It's basically if you are really invested in the Child's Play and Chucky franchise, this is gonna be your Avengers Endgame moment. Basically, seeing all these characters all interact, whether they were recasted or they're the same actors, doesn't matter. They're the same characters that we've been following throughout this continuity. They're now all together here, and they're now all trying to get rid of Chucky and finish everything once and for all. And I think seeing all these characters trying to figure this all out all together was the most fun aspect. We also get little moments here and there, little flashbacks to when they're confessing to Father Bryce, and they are basically telling their darkest and deepest secrets to him so that they can be purified when they start the exorcism of Chucky. I think looking into their lives, especially some of the newer characters, especially Father Bryce. I mean, this character really improved here, and the actor, whose name is Devin Sawa, he did a really good job here in this episode. This is probably my favorite of his performances here in the Chucky show, because he also played Jake's dad and uncle, if I believe so, in the first season. And so now we get another season where he also has to eventually die while trying to exorcise the soul of Charles Lee Ray. And it's still quite uncertain whether Chucky is just playing with everyone with a good persona, or if he's really if he's really like having a two-facing where one part of him is genuinely good, but the other is like genuinely terrifying. There's a lot of good gore effects and deaths here. Spoilers alert. As I said, Father Bryce dies in an explosion somehow. Like the soul of Chucky or something caused him to explode, and it is brutal. The show is really out there in comparison to some of the other Chucky stuff, but it's also genuinely the most fun. Also, the show is also really colorful and well shot. This is probably the best produced Chucky project I've ever seen so far. And this episode in particular was shot really well. I love the cinematography and direction here. Still some other characters I'm still not too big about. Like it seems like Jennifer Tilly and Tiffany are quite superfluous to the entire plot here, and it's not until I believe it was Glenn who got shot when I started to get more invested. But that's like the final scene of this episode. Everything else is just a road trip, and Tiffany getting run over by a truck, which within itself is a pretty important moment in which Jennifer Tilly can't go into that body. So overall, while there are a few problems here that I'm not too big about, This is probably my favorite Chucky episode. The gore and deaths are fun here. It's well shot and directed. The performances are all really good. And they're the really nice moment between Lexi and Nadia, in which Nadia becomes a ghost and tries to comfort Lexi. Also, the nun woman is now gone really crazy for everyone killing a Chucky who she thinks is God. Her death is quite funny. She gets stabbed in the eye by Glenda, and she's all surprised by it. Her character, honestly, you could have written her out and the show would have been no different. But they needed, I don't know. She did not really felt necessary. But overall, this episode was really fun. Seeing these characters all come together was quite nice, and seeing an exorcism take place was also really cool. The interactions with Chucky and the performance by crap. I don't know why I forgot his name. Brad Dourif. Brad freaking Dourif, the legend. He did such a good job with his character once again, and I really enjoyed this episode. This is probably my favorite episode so far in the entire show, if I gotta be honest. And there was also a little nice moment between Andy and Kyle, in which they finally see each other for the first time, and they bond over each other, and we get a nice moment in which they look back on the time in Child's Play 2, and honestly, that was quite nice. This almost felt like a season finale. It's not really. We gotta wait till the next episode. The next episode is gonna be the season finale, if I remember correctly. And that is gonna be very interesting. I'm very interested to see how this story closes off. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.
I'm addicted to the madness. This hotel is my